Hello, I've got a bit of a different video for you today. I would like to show off one of my favorite locks, or lock bodies, or series of lock bodies, the Abus 83. This comes in so many different shapes. I've got a bunch of them here to display, and they just recently released this 100-year anniversary version even. But I like this lock because you can kind of put almost any lock in it. When I first started out picking, I was picking everything in hand. Everything was small padlocks and lottos and stuff. And I wanted to continue being able to pick in hand in higher belts. And my first lock purchase on LPU actually was this lock body right here. It came in, it had a Medeco biaxial, but I'm using it for other stuff right now. But I realized that with that adapter, you could put any kick format lock, like this one here. It's a standard Schlage kick format, I believe. And you could put this in a padlock and pick it for practice or whatever, and you can get so many different locks in that format because it's such a big standard. And that was kind of when I fell in love with this. I originally realized that you could buy the 83AL45, which are these two colored ones over here. I think they come in other colors as well, but they're really light and they're really good for picking in hand, as they're not super heavy. Prevent some of that wrist strain, I guess, since there's already other strain going on in your hands anyway. But I really, really love this lock, and I wanted to show it off today. So this is what you get in one of these. I'm gonna gut the anniversary edition just because, but you'll get a 5-pin. The keyway is going to depend on your region that you buy it in. If you buy the anniversary edition, it's going to come keyed like this, but almost all of the other ones that I've purchased, they come 0-bitted, and I'll go over that in a second. But they come apart pretty easily. There is a screw down the shackle hole. Make sure to dump the screw out so you don't break it. Inside is going to be one of these 83 series 2 cores. This one is brass looking, but they're usually silver like these ones over here. The actuator is sort of fixed in with the C-clip on these, and it's kind of one piece. You can't really take it apart, but you can gut it. And there is like a quick change just for the key pins if you were going to rekey it for that, which is pretty easy. You just press in this little button on the side and turn it this way, and you can see all of the key pins in there. It doesn't let you change the drivers that easy. That would be amazing if there was something like that, but that's really nice for just rekeying it in general. The really, really, really big thing to know is that little sprung pin right there it can be a problem, because if you go to gut this and use a follower standard way and you turn that into one of the driver chambers, it can be a huge pain in the butt to get it back out. I think it's possible to recover, but don't do it. It would be really bad. I'll gut this at the end of the pick and gut, but for now we can just see what this core looks like. So let's say I wanted to put my Twin 6K in here instead. You buy an adapter. I'll probably have to list the exact name of it in the description, but the adapter is going to come with all of these pieces here. There may be a couple more little tail pieces, but basically you've got a more standard like Schlage style tail piece here. This would go, it's actually what we're going to use on this one, goes in a kicklet that has the back cap like this. And then there's a couple others that probably have specific locks they're meant for. I'm pretty sure this one works in Medecos, and I think I've used this one on some others too before. But basically there's a couple different tail pieces depending on how the back of your kick interacts with it. And then a screw, of course. So let's say we want to put this is a twin 6K gins. So we're going to, we don't need that in right now. Take off this little back plate. I probably should get a better tool for this. I'm just going to use these. Okay, and then we'll want it to be set up in this orientation. Okay, and then always check that it's not binding or acting weird when you do this, and if it's too tight, just back it off one notch. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then when you buy the adapter, you'll have to choose whether you want the brass or you want the silver chrome plated one. You can make it match the faceplate, you can make it match the lock, or whatever. I'm just gonna make it match the faceplate for this one for now. So then there's one other little interesting piece that comes with these often, and you want to be careful with it because these can cause sort of a soft brick situation, but these are the little Z-bar, I think people are calling them. They want you to put it on this little notch on the back. Kind of annoying to get in, but and I don't remember which way is which, but basically you can orient it either with the dot or not, and one of the ways makes it key retaining and the other makes it not key retaining. The problem is that this little piece can come dislodged in the lock in certain cases, and when it does, it can actually stop it from working. And I've had that happen actually with Lockwood 334s. But anyway, so I usually just don't put those in. But then we can slide our cylinder in, and always before you put the screw in, always check to make sure that you can unlock it that way. And then we screw the screw back in. You can brick it that way too. If you, let's say you put it in like this and you forgot the actuator and you screw it in and then you lock it like that, then it becomes bricked and you can't open it again unless, I don't know, drill it maybe. But, so now we've got an Abus iron rock with an acid twin 6K. This actually would be a pretty good in-hand padlock if you didn't mind picking your collector's edition one. But, so that was my number one love with it. And I ended up buying a bunch more. I have tons of adapters, and as you can see, I have a whole bunch of different sizes of these. And in the process of buying all of those, I ended up with a whole bunch of cores. So they all come 0-bitted 5-pin keys, but Adam helped me get set up with 6-pin keys for all of them, and we pinned them up with varying levels of serrated pins, spools, and things like that were in kind of standard pinning kits. So they're probably roughly equivalent to green belt, basically. The default pinning is orange. It's going to be just a serrated on 1 and 4 spools. But so I've got this pinned up as a bunch of different kind of beginner practice locks, and I keep all of these cylinders and this 8345 in my kind of beginner's kit that I have around for showing friends and whatnot. So that's really neat. You could sort of use them like a practice lock, like you might get a grubbed one elsewhere. If we had grubbed ones of these, that would be extra awesome. But I think that's everything I wanted to show about the lock itself. We can kind of go over the ones that I have, the different sizes and whatnot. So this one here is an 83 AL45. I've got it in a CX5, which is 6 gins up top and 5 unsprung sliders on the side. This one's really awesome. There's a member in the community that can get you these new if you want one. They're not too expensive. This is a brown belt lock. This is the same padlock body. It's an 83 AL45, but in it I've got a Multilock Interactive with the matched counter milling. It's probably the hardest type pinning multi-lock that I've ever picked, but this one and the CX5 are kind of my comfort picks that I do from time to time if I just want to fidget with a lock. This one's pretty neat. This is an 8350, so it's a little bit heavier than the 45s, but in it I've got a Kaba Gemini sample, which is pretty fun. Here, I'll put these back up so you can see them. Alright, this is 8355, and in it I've got a Medeco M4. This one's a little dustier, I guess. I have this one in my display collection usually. And then here is an 8355 or 83 CS 55, the closed shackle. And in it I've got a, let's see, Schlage Everest 29SL Primus XP, I think is all the words. And then last but not least, the big boy. It's 8380, and in it I've got a Bilock. This thing is absolutely massive. And that's all I have to show for these, and I'll probably just cut to a pick and gut of the Iron Rock Anniversary Edition. really important not to put that towards the drivers. It's okay if it goes in one of these holes. That classic Abus spinning, serrated on one and the rest spools. I feel like if they made these 6 pins by default, it should probably be green.